If you identify as a Ravenclaw, you have probably had thoughts like this. I really want some Ravenclaw merchandise, but it's all produced in blue and silver, and I want it in blue and bronze. Or maybe like this. I can't believe someone said I'm not a true Ravenclaw because I use the movie colors instead of the book colors. There's one thing both sides can agree on, though, is that Ravenclaws got screwed in this situation. We're the only house that has to make a decision about which canon we want to adhere to. For those who don't know, here are the basics. In the books, Ravenclaw's colors are described as blue and bronze. This matches the rest of the houses because it has a bright, saturated main color paired with a metallic or neutral secondary color. Everything makes sense so far, but then we come to the movies, and somebody makes a decision here. They decide to change Ravenclaw's colors to blue and silver. We don't know why, but we can take some guesses. Here are some of the favorite theories floating around the internet. 1. Visibility. Some have suggested that the higher contrast between dark blue and bright silver just worked better visually for Ravenclaw. Depending on what shade of bronze you use, it can get pretty dark and might blend with the navy blue from a distance, which, let's be honest, is the way that most Ravenclaws are viewed in the movies. 2. Balance. Although Hufflepuff's secondary color is black, some have pointed out that Hufflepuff's yellow and Gryffindor's gold look really similar on ties and scarves. This might have been the reason that they switched Ravenclaw's secondary color to silver to match Slytherin the way that Hufflepuff matches Gryffindor. 3. Bronze sucks. Or at least translating it to a flat color does. Bronze is a complicated metal. It can be brassy and bright when it's new, it gets darker over time, and when it oxidizes, it gets kinda greenish. If you had 10 different designers make a tie that's blue and bronze, they would probably all come back to you with 10 slightly different shades. Not to mention that when an antique bronze gets its metallic sheen taken away, it kinda looks like diarrhea. 4. Heraldry. For those who don't know the history of heraldry, here are the basics. About 900 years ago, a knight would develop a coat of arms to distinguish himself from his opponent in combat since their faces were concealed by helmets. The art of the coat of arms is referred to as heraldry. In order to make these coats of arms easy to accurately replicate and distinguish from afar, there were very specific rules about how different tinctures, that is, colors, metals, and furs, were allowed to be used. For instance, you weren't allowed to put a metal on a metal. The point is, if you look at each house's colors according to heraldry, each of them has a metal and a color, except for Ravenclaw. By changing Ravenclaw's bronze to silver, Ravenclaw colors now conform to heraldic principle tinctures. Of course, since Hogwarts was founded a little over 100 years before heraldry even became a thing, I don't know how much water this theory holds, but it's definitely one of the most well-researched of the options. In the end, we can speculate as much as we want, but the truth is, we'll probably never know why they changed the colors. And even if we did, it wouldn't help us with our problem. Which colors do we use? If you pick blue and silver, you do become a target for elitist Ravenclaws who will either assume you've never read the books or that you have no loyalty to them. But if you pick blue and bronze, you're going to have a hell of a time finding merchandise. None of the licensed stuff will work for you. So what are Ravenclaw's real house colors? Ultimately, I think that question is up to you. How you decide to be a fan is nobody's business but yours. If you think blue and bronze are the right colors for Ravenclaw, then those are Ravenclaw's colors to you. And the reverse. The biggest thing we can do to help Ravenclaws deal with this problem is just to take a page from Hufflepuff's book and be a little more accepting. The colors somebody else chooses to wear or draw or buy don't actually affect your life at all. So leave your fellow Ravenclaw's color choices alone and fight about Raven versus Eagle instead. Just kidding. It's totally Eagle. Are there people who are unsortable? And I think no. Within the Potter world, a school like Hogwarts couldn't have existed for so long if their basic systems were broken. So the way I see it,